Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Book of Boba Fett, Season 1. And obviously this is a spin-off of The Mandalorian and the greater Star Wars franchise, focusing on Boba Fett, who was like really cool looking bounty hunter from the original trilogy that really didn't do much but became this huge like cultural icon. And he popped back up again in The Mandalorian, and everyone's like, oh my god. And they have the tease at the end of Mandalorian Season 2 of him killing Bib Fortuna and taking over Jabba's whole reign as gangster on Tatooine. And you start this series and you have the focus on Temuera Morrison, Boba Fett, and he gives a really charismatic and like grounded performance in this film and gets a lot more in the show and gets a lot more to do than you've seen in the past in terms of Boba Fett. And I really enjoy Morrison's performance, and through the first 4 episodes have a lot of flashbacks that are setting up, it's like how he survived survived the Sarlacc pit, and how he built this connection with the Tuskens out in the Dune Sea. And that whole entire thing really takes a lot of influence from Lawrence of Arabia, which I really appreciated. And I really loved how they built out the Tusken mythology and made them more relatable and grounded. And you had that connection with them that Boba Fett does. And things have these emotional connections. You see basically also once he connects with Fennec Shand, and who, by the way, Ming-Na is so fantastic in this show. She's badass. She really gets some moments to shine, especially in the finale towards the end. But she and Fennec Shand and Boba Fett team up. You see how we get to the point where he meets Din in The Mandalorian Season 2. And they have a lot of flashbacks. I know a lot of people complained about it. It is a bit uneven in the storytelling, and not a whole lot happens in like the present time over the first like 3 episodes or so. And then you finally get to this point, and then it shifts gears in these 2 long interlude episodes, which we'll get to in a bit. But, you know, the first couple episodes are fun, like little teasing of what's going on in terms of Boba Fett and his gangster work, but like mostly these flashbacks that really flesh him out and see him grow and him building these connections. And it's interesting because like you're bringing in like the spice trade and stuff like that, and the Pike who were in, I'm pretty sure they were part of the syndicate in like Solo. Star Wars has so much going on, and I really appreciate how they bring in some more bounty hunters into this series. One of them's really cool Wookiee character, and is such a cool addition from the Clone Wars and like the Bad Batch. So there's some cool things that they bring in, some of these characters, and really looking at bounty hunters. And you have, you know, the effects, which some of them are really awesome. Some of it's a little inconsistent. You can tell, like, this is a TV show. It has a TV show budget compared to, like the proper films and stuff like that. You could see some green and blue screen and stuff like that. But in general, they make pretty good use of it and make it feel pretty tangible with a lot of grounded practical effects. Some fun cameos and small characters along the way. You know, this is a Robert Rodriguez project, so one particular person was a cool little cameo who popped up. But you get to see like more of the Tuskens, you get the Rancor, the Hutts, and the Gamorreans, and all of these races and creatures you spend a little extra time with and get a little more depth to. And these small characters like Amy Sedaris popping up as always with her comic relief. And a couple others, so like the Major Domo, who David Pasquesi is really funny and he's sassy. You have Matt Berry as the torture droid from Jabba's palace. You have Garza Flip, played by Jennifer Beals from like Flashdance, and I really appreciated her. Carey Jones is a nice addition as Black Cranston, who is a really cool Wookiee character that gets introduced in the series. And in general, like, if you're a fan of Clone Wars, there's a lot of cool things that come over into the series. But these last 3 episodes, like, the Return of the Mandalorian is such an amazing episode, really expanding on Din's story from season 2 of The Mandalorian with, like, Darksaber, and really trying to make up and figure out his connection with, like, the Mandalorian, and teasing what's going to happen in Mandalorian Season 3. And then you had another interlude episode of, like, you know, them trying to get people together to help Boba Fett. And there's a lot of great returns of characters in that episode. And then you have the big hour-long finale that just has tons of action, tons of surprises, a lot of cool shootouts and battles and all kinds of stuff. It's just almost wall-to-wall action for the most part. And, you know, Robert Rodriguez created this and directed some of the episodes, and it definitely has his feel to it, and there's like an edge to it. I don't think it quite felt like it had the same edge as that Mandalorian episode he did, where I think, like, I don't know if Boba Fett ever hits that level of, like, badassery in the series as he did in that particular episode, but he still gets to do a lot. Him and like Jon Favreau wrote most of this series, if not all of it, and I think he does a really good job of expanding his little Mandalorian world. And you have Dave Filoni, who works on a couple episodes and really brings in a lot of his creations to broaden the mythology and the story and the scope of the Book of Boba Fett. And a lot of people complain, like, this really wasn't a Boba Fett show. The best episodes didn't have Boba Fett in it. It's just like, you know, there's interlude episodes in a lot of television, and some of them are great episodes. And yeah, the interlude episodes were probably the best episodes, which kind of sucks for Boba Fett, but, like, you still get an interesting arc for him, and I enjoyed his story, and I had a lot of fun with the series. So I'm definitely one to recommend the Book of Boba Fett. But those are my thoughts on this series. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.